Hello students, how are you all? Good. Have you done the works that I have given in the previous classes? I hope it done. Good. So welcome back to the second part of the chapter soil. And in the previous session we have studied about the importance of soil and the different components of the soil and different profiles of the soil, right? I think you remember this. Okay. Now let us go to the next points of the chapter. That is, the next fourth point is characteristics of soil. Soil has got a different natural characteristic which makes it is really fertile, is useful. So here, the first characteristic of the soil is moisture. What is moisture in soil? Soil has got an ability to maintain presence of water. This particularity is called moisture in the soil. When soil has got this ability, it helps the microbes and plants to grow. So moisture is a very important characteristic of the soil. Second one is water holding capacity. What is water holding capacity? These both are deeply related. In which way? When it rain falls, when water spreads over the soil, it has got an ability to maintain the amount of water. So a soil has this particular ability to hold water. For this particular feature of the soil is called water holding capacity. Next one is aeration. What is aeration? Aeration is the procedure soil contains air too. How? We know that where the particles of the soil has a gap among them, it gives a chance for the air to be there. So where the soil particles are very fine, very thin, there is less space and less chance for holding air. Whereas sandy soil, larger particles where the soil has, it has got the ability, it has got a space among them. That space will be filled with air. This particular situation is called aeration. So soil has a moisture, soil has a water, and soil has a air. And another is a percolation, percolation rate. What is it? Let us just think about a particular activity. You take some sandy soil in a glass and put some water. And in another glass, you take some clay soil and put the same amount of water. You can observe that where the first glass, where sandy soil was filled, the water is very steady, fast it will go down and settle at the bottom of the glass. But whereas where the clay soil was there, the water will remain for some time at the top of the soil and slowly it drops down, it moves down. This particular ability of the soil is called, this particular phenomena is called percolation. What is the ability, the speed of the movement of water through the soil particles is referred as a soil percolation. And the speed of soil, the speed of water moving through the soil is called a percolation rate. So here in that glass where sandy soil was there, the percolation rate is more or less. Of course, more. Why? Because soil particles are loosely, sandy soil particles are loosely packed and the water can easily go down. Whereas in the clay soil, the particles are very closely packed, there will be less gap and it takes some time for the water to penetrate through. So this movement, the speed of this movement of water is called a percolation rate. And the next point is soil and crops of India. It's a very important fact we have to learn. India is an agricultural country and different agricultural practices, farming is done in India. But you can see that all over India, same type of crops are not grown. And why it is? Because the types of soil available in a particular area determines what type of crops it must be there. India has got sandy soil areas, India has got loamy soil areas, India has got clay soil areas. And sandy soil comparatively having less humus and less nutrients, it is not at all good for growing crops. That is why less crops are grown in sandy soil. Whereas clay soil is very closely packed, water holding capacity is more. That is why in such area mainly paddy, water growing crops are grown. Paddy, rice crops are grown in clay soil. But whereas in loamy soil, it's the best quality of soil, having almost all types of qualities are there. That is why different varieties of crops are grown in loamy soil. So depends upon the availability of the soil, what is present in a particular area, the crops of that, the farming of that area is decided. So in India, where this type of different land forms, different soil present there, according to that, so crops are grown. So that is what soil and crops of India, the topic explains. Next one is soil erosion. Soil erosion is a very harmful thing for the farmers. Why? Because we have studied in junior classes loss of, removal of the topsoil because of the any natural agents like wind, like water, like landslides, overgrazing, any human activity also can cause the loss of the topsoil, fertile soil. This particular situation is called soil erosion. It can happen with the natural reason also, and because of the human interaction too. That's why the loss of topsoil, good soil, fertile soil from the upper layer is called what? Soil erosion. The agents are wind, water, landslides, any such type of reasons. So this soil erosion is a very harmful thing, and it gives two main disadvantages. First one is loss of fertility of the soil. When the topsoil is eroded in a great deal, the fertility of the soil also is lost. That area with the loamy soil, the fertile soil is also lost. That's why what is called soil erosion loses the fertility of the soil. Second thing is desertification. What is desertification? When soil is eroded, the green plants, vegetations over that area also is lost. That they cannot survive. As a result, that area become what is a barren lake. The vegetation cannot grow over there. So that's why soil erosion can lead to desertification also. The loss of vegetation on a particular area is called desertification. So this can lead soil erosion can lead loss of fertility, and it can cause a desertification. And the last point is soil conservation. Soil conservation is a concept of maintaining the quality of the soil, and also it helps the availability of good soil. How you see the soil conservation? When you before learning soil conservation, we have to think about one more concept, what is soil pollution. What is soil pollution? When we conduct all our daily life, human activities, constructions, farming, whatever it is, whatever we conduct on the soil, we give maybe add many unwanted, harmful substances to the soil, and this accumulation of such a type of harmful substances can degrade, can reduce the quality of the soil. This situation is called soil pollution. So soil pollution is a human activity that is constituted by human. So only we can conserve the soil too. That's why wisely we have to maintain the quality of the soil. That concept is called soil conservation. What all the things we can do in order to conserve soil? First, maintaining fertility. We must maintain the fertility of the soil. In which way? We can add manures, we can add fertilizers, and we can practice crop rotation. We can practice many such type of activity which can increase the quality of the soil. That is called maintaining fertility of the soil. And purposefully we have to practice such a type of activities which will not lose the quality of the soil. So in maintaining the fertility of the soil. Second is improve biogeofactors. What is a biogeofactors? We studied in the beginning of the chapter, soil contains biogeo-components like bacteria, fungi and many such microbes, and even earthworms are the friendly organisms which we need in the soil. These biogeofactors must be improved. They must be made allowed to grow and develop. So that is why it can give quality of the soil improved. So this concept is what we call improve biogeofactors. And second thing is increase vegetation. When we plant more trees, more plants on the soil, it gives a fertility too. Why? Because of the nitrogen cycle. Plants help in nitrogen cycle, and the more vegetation, the more quality of the soil will be there. It will stop soil erosion, and it will help the increasing of humus. Such that many reasons are there. That's why when you increase the vegetation in a particular area, the soil component and the soil quality will be increased. This is also another method to conserve soil. Next one is reduce pollution. The most important fact. We must reduce pollution. We must reduce adding things to unwanted things, harmful things to the soil like polythene, non-biodegradable things. These all things, when we stop, when we control, it can reduce pollution. When pollution is reduced, automatically the quality of the soil is increased. These are the things related with soil conservation. So here the chapter has come to an end, and I will now forward with some questions, and also the exercises done on the book. I will send the PDF, and I have circled the questions that you have to work out on the exercise, and you work it out, and the questions which I give, that you answer yourself. Like that you maintain your fair copy also. So this is the end of the chapter. Have a nice day. Thank you.